and welcome. I'm seeing who all's here. I think we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
There would be 12, and since there's 2 of us, that'd be 10 of them. I'll stop you from having to take your shoes off to do that math. So they're all here.
Wait. Elizabeth is not playing fair because she's on here like 4 times if you look at your screen.
I think we're missing Anne.
There you go.
So we're missing Ann.
All right.
Was Jesse still enrolled in this program, y'all?
No.
No. She dropped late. Let's see. Yeah, we're missing Ann.
So that's all but one.
Next week, they'll all be gone. Only one will
That's
show
it.
up.
That's it. Well, no, they will stay because they're in my section first. It's when you start that they'll leave.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, everybody. And welcome. We will not be on long tonight. So if you haven't had supper, and you probably haven't since you've had school all day, or you may be eating while we're talking, and that's fine as well. So we will be out by, well, it depends on how long Dale talks. So I'm Steve, and Dale and I go by Steve and Dale, and I understand that he is a senior citizen, and you may want to be respectful of him, but
Wait a minute. Did you go to school with my daddy?
that will end.
Wait.
That will end early on, and so we are so glad you chose to do this, Dale and I. Seriously, if we could be serious for just a moment, we honest to goodness look forward to this each year. We do it one time. We do it in the fall, and it's a joy for a variety of reasons, but the main one is that you folks are such gifted people you've gone through a doctoral program, you've got years of experience in your work world, and it just enriches the conversation so much. And so we look forward to it. We, at this point, are very grateful we're going to be able to do face-to-face, although we will be in mass. But at this point, we are grateful we had to do last year and remotely, and it's not as much fun. But we'll do what we need to do this year. But we do plan to do the 3 weekends of face-to-face in Charlotte. And I think you will enjoy it. Dale is a food expert, so and you'll see that when you see him. But we like to bring food on Saturday morning and Sunday morning, and none of it's healthy, and which makes it even better. But if you like to be healthy, you might want to bring that on your own. We go to Bojangles for breakfast, and then we bring other things too. So all kidding aside, healthy food and eating is important, but we just found that trying to meet the taste of everybody is very difficult. So we just we go by and bring that. So Saturdays we'll have plenty to eat. And then we typically pause for lunch on Saturday and bring something in there and just have a good time eating again. And so by the time you get home Saturday evening, you're not hungry at all. And so and then Sunday we have breakfast and that we enjoy while we're doing our devotional thought, and then we proceed into coursework. But we leave early enough on Sunday that we don't worry as much about eating. We have food in the classroom, but we won't pause an extensive period of time on Sunday for lunch. So that can give you something to plan for. Our Zooms on Tuesday nights are they start at 6. We ask you to be on time, and we promise that you will finish on time. And on time for us is 8 o'clock. And so we will we'll go full throttle. I don't think you'll have a Tuesday night where you're out earlier than 8 o'clock, but we keep a close eye on the clock because we do know that you've got class the next day. So if we don't get it all covered, we figure out how to move it to the next week. And because we think it's important that you at least get to exhale a little bit on Tuesday night. So we wanted to prepare you for that. And so you have received, we're not gonna, if it's okay with y'all, I know we've got tonight and everything, but if it's okay with y'all, I thought most of y'all know each other. Dale and I don't know you, and you don't really know us, but I thought the introduction stuff might wait till our first face-to-face, and we just kind of, you'll have beginning of school stories. Hopefully almost all of them are good ones. And other than the fire alarm practice that we're doing at one school, but wherever that is. But anyway, we'll tell stories and get to know each other a little bit better then. So we won't do that tonight, if that's okay with you. I think y'all kind of know each other, but or most of you do, not all of you, maybe. But so what we want to do tonight, and I'm starting this off to have conversation because one of the things you see is that I try to speak first because that's the last time I get to speak in class. Dale takes it, and he really does not honor any of my presence then, and it hurts. And so I try to get it out early, and then I just drink my Diet Mountain Dew, and we go from there. So if you'll just indulge us just for a moment, we're going to go over things, and Dale is going to, if we can be serious again for a second, he's going to go over the evidence for the first portion, which is the apsal. And I've talked to a couple of you about this, and while it is one of the evidences you'll do with Dale and me, this one is not going to be challenging for you because PLCs are a part of your world, and they are a part of your EDCI program as well. So your challenge with the apsal, and Dale go over all this, is not so much forming a new PLC. We don't really care if you form a new PLC. What we want is the evidence done. And if you can take what you did in EDCI and organize it to meet the evidence rubric, then that's what we want out of this. So he'll cover that more thoroughly, but the syllabus, so y'all will know, I'm not going to go through the whole syllabus because there are far shorter novels than the syllabus that Dale puts on. I think this one is like 50 or 60 pages. And so had you been in EDLS, you'd see that our syllabus is about like 5 pages, but Dale puts everything in there. So the main things we want, or I want to mention before we turn it over, are the textbooks. And there are 3 on the 601 side. John Maxwell, we use both in MELS and EDLS. If you haven't begun reading Maxwell's book, many of you are familiar with him already. He is a gifted speaker. He is a Christian writer, and you will see references to Christian principles in his writing, but indeed it is a book that works for educators, it works for business people. And so his Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, we hooked on to Dale, gosh, almost back when we started, right? So this is not a new book, but it is one of those kind of like seminal leadership books that you can learn from. And I think we'll have a lot of fun seeing Maxwell talk about these 21 laws and then kind of relating them to us. So that's one of the books. School leadership case studies, you will see that for both Dale and me, we are big into case studies. There certainly is something to be said of, quote, book learning. Honest to goodness, when Dale is the guru of this program. When we were talking about this, you folks are beyond book learning. This is experiential learning. This is practical learning, and that's what we have found to be hopefully beneficial for y'all. So we present case studies and enjoy the discussion that comes out from that. So the school leadership case studies book is the second book, and then the third book is the principle, and that's what we will begin with, and we will get through that quickly. But with it, and we'll see this in just a second, you'll be presenting the chapters, we'll be infusing the discussion, and with each chapter there are case studies aligned with those, and we will have that discussion and enjoy those case studies. So if I guess, for lack of a better term, a lot of our learning will come through, if we want to use the word learning, a lot of our experiences in here will come through case studies, and we'll have a good time with that. So Dale presents the format, and it's rather clear. The next time we'll be together will be the weekend, and then we'll start the Zooms, and you see that we have my portion at the beginning. That doesn't mean I go away, and it doesn't mean that Dale's not with us at the beginning. It just means that the 601 piece, the principle piece, is driven by me, and then the kind of the law finance piece is driven by Dale, and both of us have served as principal. I was not a principal a long time, I think 8 years maybe, and 7 or 8 years. I was a superintendent longer. Dale was a principal for about 71 years, and so he has some experience with that. One of the things we wanted to accomplish that we haven't been able to accomplish every year is that we thought that y'all would like this. So you see how fast we're going. We don't take a lot of breaks in weeks. We do something about every week, but we thought it'd be important for y'all to finish before Thanksgiving. And so we set that as a goal. And so our last time together will be the weekend prior to Thanksgiving, with the opportunity for you to get all your evidences in. I think it would, you can turn it in after Thanksgiving because the semester doesn't end until first week of December, but certainly most of you, maybe all of you will be in a position to finish everything prior to Thanksgiving and then just exhale. And either way is fine with us. We'll be around to help because we'll be there. So I'm not going to go through all of this. You can read for yourself, and so the other thing that I wanted to do was, wait a minute. Was go over the weekly schedule. and then Dale's going to talk about the APSL with you. So the first weekend that we are together, September 4 and 5, is when we begin the principal discussion. And I do it a little bit different than Dale does, or maybe even a lot different than Dale does. And if you talk to students that are in the EDLS program, I don't think I'm categorized as maybe not good, but I'm not categorized as lazy. I like to run my mouth, but I just got to a point early on that, and you can tell already how tired you are of hearing me, that it just doesn't work to listen to me all the time, or even for me to just keep throwing questions out. So I just kind of said, why don't we let, candidates present and we'll add to. And so that's how I chose to do it. So each of you has chapters assigned to you from the principal book, and then there are case studies aligned with it. The case studies are in the back of the book. You will lead that discussion as well. And Dale and I will be in there to probe a little further as we do those discussions. But I think you'll enjoy the principal book. Dale picked up on this book. I don't know how long you've been using it, Dale?
About 6 years.
Yeah, he picked up, and it really is good. It's a very good practical book. And so I think you'll enjoy reading it. It does a good job of related. They embed case studies even in the chapter. We're going to do the case studies from the back, but they're thought-provoking things all the way through. So we'll do that on Saturday and Sunday. We'll be through the material portion then on Tuesday, September 7th. And you'll notice that we skip chapters 13 and 14. And you may say, why are we skipping chapters 13 and 14? And that is because those are aligned with what Dale will talk about in his portion, the 603 portion. So the special populations portion and the finance portion, and that's his piece. So I just didn't see the need for us to discuss it in the first round. So we skipped chapters 13 and 14. That's, if you're wondering, that's why. But then we'll come back and as we go forward, and beginning September 14th, I divide you into groups to do the case studies from the leadership book. And what we asked for there, we'll talk more about this on the weekend, but what we asked for there is that you folks figure out a way to communicate with each other and plan out your presentation of these cases and your understanding of these cases, so that you can lead the discussion with us, and we'll go from there. Dale has a kind of a neat format with that. He'll go over that with us on the weekend too. Anyway, we do those case study analyses on the 14th and the 21st and on the 28th. And then we come back together in October face-to-face. And that's when we do the Maxwell presentations. And you'll see how those are divided up. So Rebecca, you got an extra one in the principal, I think, and Ms. Kroom got, I'm not sure she had sent an email earlier and she may not be able to participate fully on the first weekend. So I loaded her on the back end with the Maxwell presentation. So each of you has the same number of presentations. And then after we finish Maxwell, the highlight of your semester is over. You're finished with my part, and it goes downhill. Dale takes over on that Sunday, and we will begin with the devotional thought, and we will on that Sunday as well. And then he goes from there. You see that it ends at 1 o'clock. We get you home. So we go hard, but there'll be food and drink, and we take breaks and stuff. But Sunday is a 9 o'clock to 1 o'clock, so you can get home and have just a little bit of a weekend. Then Dale does his thing, and he'll introduce you to his course later on. That's not the purpose of tonight. And then at the end, we've got what we think is a very neat activity for our last day, which is a Bishop T.D. Jakes video that has really resonated with leadership classes, and we think you will enjoy it. And then we're going to have a great discussion with that, and I think it will be a great discussion because of what you've offered for the class. So it's been an honor to get to talk to you tonight, and my time is done because Dale's going to take it, and I won't get to talk ever again. So thank you for letting me share. Actually, he is going to talk with you about the APSL, and then we'll come back for any questions and adjourn for the. So, Dale.
Thank you. All right, I'm gonna share my screen. I want to do two housekeeping items, excuse me, and then we'll move into the APSL. So I'll share my screen. All right, so my course, the 603 part should show in your My Courses. It's Mel 603 C14. If I were you, I would go ahead and click on discussion board, and you will see that the activities that go along with my half are kind of coming and going, to and froing. It's not read a chapter, write a paper kind of stuff. There's always a reading component to kind of shape what you do. But the notion here is to get out in your building and locate emergency plans, budgets, talk to people about hiring practices. You would want to read through these because you may have the opportunity to do some of these at some point in the semester before the second half. And so these are things, you know, interview the chair of your intervention team about where you are with MTSS. How far along is your school or district in implementation? Interview an assistant principal about doing discipline. What takes so long? How do you have to do it? Yeah, these are things that you would come across maybe in the normal course of your daily activities. So I would kind of look at these and think, well, I could do that then, or I can do that, or I have the opportunity to talk with this AP, or I've got to talk with HR anyway. So I would look at your activities, and you can maybe do some of these things as we go along in the semester. So that's the first housekeeping piece. The second piece is task string. So let me go to that. All right, so here is your, I don't have you added in. As you can see, I have built the DRF in task string. Wendy's been out, and so she will have to renew some of your accounts, and some of you may have to purchase, and some of your accounts may last this semester. So she's got to get through that, but here it is. And so here are the things that you will bring over from EDCI. Your CNA, the FCEP, the PE, and the PLP. You simply bring those over and upload them, and they're met or not met. That's, you don't have to do anything with them other than bring them over. And then the two that you will do for us this semester, as Steve said, would be the APSL and the OMA. The APSL, of course, is, you know, form a PLC, in which you've already done, do a data dive into your numbers, find your most pressing need, do a little research, and then we'll talk about that in a minute. And then the OMA is all about being able to build a master schedule, a legal master schedule for a school. And I'll cover those later. But main thing is, if you can't access your task stream account to pull these things out, maybe you've got them on disk, but these are the things you're going to need to run down for us at some point. And we'll get, if your account has expired, we'll get Wendy to reactivate it so you can go in and get them. But those are the 4 things that you're going to need. Everybody has to have 6 evidences in a portfolio to get a license. And so you've already done these 4, you do these 2 with us, and you're golden. So that's it. Now, the other thing is the APSL, the first one, in your, let me move this out of the way. In your class shell, let me go back to the other browser. In your shell, you've got some documents. So let me go to that quickly. Let me move that out of the way. In Steve's shell, in the 601 C14 section, there is a section here on the side that says APSL materials. And you've got a helpful hints document You got template with where you can just write right into it. It's already got APA. And then I've got an example for what we expect for doctoral students to do. It's a little different than the others. It's not as depth. And then I've got the task and prompts that you speak to. And so I already have those documents loaded up. So let's go to those, and we'll start with the task and prompts. And so here's an overview of what we're asking you to do. Research the tenets and functions of the PLC and assume the leadership role. That's just, Richard DeFore, how to form a PLC. It's just the basic stuff. Roles, norms, non-negotiables, those kinds of things that you would normally do in setting up a PLC. And then you research your standard test scores. Then you research an area, for example, your reading scores are low. Let's say, for example, your reading scores are low. And we do some research and why are our reading scores low? Is it a fluency problem or is it a comprehension problem? And so we determined that we don't have a lot of non-English speakers in our building, so it's probably a comprehension problem. So we would research what are some of the best practices to teach reading comprehension. On the other hand, if we have a high ESL or population, non-English, native English speakers, maybe it's a fluency problem. And we find out, we need to be involved with phonics, and we research that, but we find what's the best practice to address the needs of what we have. We write an action plan. Again, all this is in the templates. It's plug and play kind of thing. And then you reflect on the competencies of what you learned based on the 21 administrative competencies that you're required to be competent in, I guess. And so here's definition of terms for the competencies that you will speak to. Here's the task. The prompts are in yellow. What you need to get an accomplished score in task stream, and it's pretty much plug and play. Let's look quickly at the template. Everything in red should be deleted. Everything in black stays. And it tells you again, it's kind of a plug and play. All these are your headings. It's pretty easy. And you will summarize your plan in this. Some folks like to do an optional PERT chart. I don't recommend it, but you folks are a lot more advanced than I am. So if that's something that you'd be interested in doing. And then here's an example of how you write your competencies. Pretty easy. And these are the ones that we want. And here are the 21 that you would normally do as a school administrator. And so you'll do half of them in this, you'll do the other half. You'll do 12 and 9. You do 12 in this, and then you'll do the others. So at the end of the course, you will have done all 21 are written or reflected on the 21 administrative competencies. You do half with Steve and you do half with me when you do the OMA. So it's pretty simple. It's stuff that you've already done that you're probably a lot more expert than I am, certainly, at this kind of thing. What we're looking for is everything to be research-based, to understand that school performance is what school administration is all about. We had our town hall for our new folks last night. We had 115 of the 150 show up online with us last night. And one of the things that I told them at the end is, if you're one of those folks who thinks that standardized testing is not an accurate reflection of what kids learn, I agree with you. That's probably true. If you don't think that competition is good, that's probably true as well. And that assessment should be about growth and accountability should be about growth rather than comparative accountability. I agree with that as well. But if you believe those things, get out now. We'll get you your money back before we start, because this is about performance, period. It's about student performance. That's the role of the school administrator. You've got to make a good number go up or a bad number go down. And if you don't, they'll find somebody else. It's just that simple. And so we start out with the most important piece, which is instruction. Absolutely. When I go to Wilmington from Raleigh, when I head that way, I head toward Wilmington or Sunset Beach, I make the loop around Raleigh, and the first exit I come up to is there at Garner. It's Jones Sausage Road. You know what they do at Jones Sausage? They make sausage. You know what we do in school? We teach kids, period. That's what we do. That's what we're here for. And so instruction drives what we do. And that's what the app sale is all about, is instruction driving. Then the OMA later on is about making sure that we stay legal, that we don't lose our house because we did something dumb or illegal. That's what law and finance is for. So hopefully we'll have a good time. We'll eat well. We'll have biscuits and pastries. We'll bring water and drinks. It's been a little warm. It was a little warm Saturday before last. The air conditioner is not really, it's kind of like a drunk wheezing on you. And so we had fans blowing on us too, but we got through. And of course, the mask mandate is back. My permanent residence is actually in Mecklenburg. I live at Cornelius at the lake. And so they've got the signs back up, stay home, and there's a mask mandate even indoors. And so unfortunately, we'll have to have our mask on, but we'll get through. It'll be good, and we'll have a good time. We'll tell a joke or two, fun stories and things. And what we want you to do is to understand that we know that you've got all this stuff. This is the advanced course. This is the higher level stuff. You know, the census, the evaluation. We're at that level. This is not about the bottom line, you know, the easy stuff at the lower end of the higher order thinking skills. This is at the top. And so we're not going to beat you up over the little stuff. This is, you're all professionals. You're all, again, much more expert than me in this. And certainly Steve, when he was talking about his syllabus in his program, yeah, they're 5 pages, but you know, but that's not the bad part. The bad part's there in crayon. So, I mean, you're not talking about 2 instructional wizards here. So we're going to defer to your knowledge on a lot of these things. But we welcome you. We're glad to have you. We thank you for joining us. We'll have a good time. It'll be a lot of fun. And again, it truly is the highlight of our year to get to do this course, and we thank you for that.
All right, so a couple of questions have come up on the chat, and I've noticed that. So the first one, I believe, was from Leah, which was a very important one. Who brings the food? And I think that was her, but somebody wrote it. But anyway, but I think we answered that. Dale and I bring the food, and like, I mean, you most of you had the misfortune of meeting me this past semester, but you can tell that we like to eat. So we will take care of the food. We'll figure out the lunch thing on the Saturdays and as well. So I mean, if you want to bring something and tell us you're bringing something, then that's fine. But we bring the breakfast, and he parks his truck, and we oh God, Charlie, you're on probation already. If we're gonna have that kind of food. Woo. But anyway, Dale, we're gonna be eating good, brother.
I know, ooey gooey butter cake. I can't wait.
Oh, God.
I may not be able to sleep tonight thinking about that cake.
That'll be good. So the other, I've got to pick on Andrea. So you it's Norberg. No?
No, there's a D there. And my whole life, I went from Gardner with a D, and everybody called me Garner.
Oh.
And now I'm Nordberg. Like,
So it is
like
spelled right.
no, it's my name on here is spelled right, but everywhere else, like in the course, is wrong.
Okay. So on what I put out, did I misspell it?
Yeah.
Mine's
I'm in
misspelled
trouble.
too.
And I think Heather is Tim's and not Thomas, maybe.
So I'm in big trouble already.
It's my whole life. I'm used to it.
Okay, so it's Nordberg is correct, and I need to go back in. And Heather is Thomas. No, is that right?
It is Thomas, but whatever you want to put, I'll answer to.
That's me. So I misspelled. I put you wrong too. Okay.
Steve, you may need to look at the number you got. I think we have 10 You may have planned on 12. I think we've had 2 to drop, so you might want to look at that
Okay.
when you're doing your assignments. I just noticed that we
I will,
lost a couple.
I'll make all the fixes and that'll be complete no later than Thursday, and I'll send it all out to.
Yeah. All right. So the question about APA 7th, the issue is this. Some of you wrote some of these evidences a while back and they're not in 7th. I don't care. Put them in the way they are. Don't go back and rewrite them. Do not do that. When you write the app cell, if you've got some stuff already written, that's fine as well. But if you're writing from the beginning, go ahead and write in 7th. I mean, I don't think it's going to change the world if you're writing in 3rd person passive versus 1st person active. I don't think that's a big deal. So whatever works for you is fine with me. If all 4 of your previous evidences were in APA 6, 3rd person passive voice, that's fine. And if you want to write the new ones in 1st person active in 7th edition, that's good as well. I'm more interested in communicating your ideas and what you've done. And what I always like is when looking at your data and you figured out what your most pressing need is, how'd you get from there to there? Because we could all look at the same data, all 12 of us could look at the data, but we would all have an idea of what our most pressing need is, but based on our own personal agendas and what we like or doesn't like. And so I'm always interested in that piece. It's not like, oh, that's wrong, but it's, how'd you get from point A to point B? Once you go through that data, the trick is determining what your most pressing need is. So, and I'm interested in research about, what works and what doesn't work, what other people have used and done. And so have fun with it. If you've got some things from the past, we really truly like to read your papers, not, because the ideas that you have and the things that you're doing that change the lives of students and teachers. We like that. That's a good thing.
All right, I'm making me notes on all the things I did wrong. So Leah, you go by Hutlinger. Okay, so I'm gonna get that changed. And Norberg is Nordberg spelling, and Tim's is Thomas. All right, anything, look at all these children.
We like kids.
We do.
We like your kids with you, not with us, but we like kids.
Well, hello, Ann's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Leah's daughter.
Oh,
Yeah. And I saw Rebecca's, was that a son or a daughter dog?
A sun dog.
Son dog, and that is a big dog. How much does that dog? Oh, we got another dog. So anyway, all right.
Her name's Daisy, by the way.
Daisy, and what's yours, Rebecca?
oh. What kind of dog is Daisy?
Daisy's a Pomeranian Chihuahua mix.
Oh,
Rebecca?
Mine's a German Shepherd.
Yeah. I couldn't see it well because I had to have glasses to see anything, but anyway. All right. It's 6:40. One of the things I didn't mention is if you look on the schedule of activities, we do want you to talk to a principal. It can be the school you're in, or if you're not in a school, just find one. But I put the questions there for you to ask. We'll have a little discussion on that. Just kind of just as an introductory discussion that we'll have. So don't spend a whole lot of time on it. It is not something you're going to submit to Blackboard even. But do take notes. It's kind of fun to get a variety of opinions on that. All right. It is 6:41. Anybody have questions?
I do. So for the presentations on the first weekend, you have the chapter on the left of our name and the case studies on the right. Where are we pulling the case studies from? What book?
They're in the back.
Okay.
Let me get the paper here. I'm in the book. It's case studies are found in Appendix A. And that'd be starting on page 361 of your book. And so you'll see the case studies. They're very short. Andrea's son has made an appearance. Is he gonna have red hair, Andrea?
So my oldest one, who's 10, he has bright red, almost orange hair. And this one is a blonde little Viking baby.
Okay, yeah. It's hard to imagine. I was a red head at one point, and I'm not as challenged as Dale on top yet, but I'll probably catch up with him eventually. Okay.
Another question about the presentations. You said the only expectation is 20 to 30 minutes long. Is there any outline you want us to follow or any, okay,
Just go for it. Tell us about it. If you want to have a fun activity, then have a fun activity. We have to stay on track time wise or we'll run out of time. Yeah.
Sure.
And I want to say again, and you can see how much Dale and I enjoy talking, and we enjoy talking with you, but we're senior citizens. We don't have anywhere to go. We try to be respectful for you. And so we're a stickler for time. So, I'm not saying practice it because you folks are so, experienced in presenting to your cohorts or in your job that this will come natural for you. It's good to have a visual to share and if you want to, but you can just lead. It could almost be like a book talk if you want it to be.
Yeah. I remember the first group that we ever had. Well, actually we had two groups when we started, 2 groups of 12. One of their presentations, we went out in the hallway and got in circles and did activities. I mean, that was fun. I don't know if we can, with COVID, I guess we could still do things like that, but I've seen presentations, PowerPoints, activities, games, surprises, make us happy, main thing, make us laugh. You make us laugh, that's even better.
I've got to say, and we'll say this again, but as much as we talk about having fun and smiling and telling stories and laughing, we're in a serious business, folks. Every day, it is major serious, and so we're in no way saying it's not. And school leadership is, as we will talk about, as you get in a broader scope from classroom to school building to central office, you're exposing yourself to more problems. I mean, that's what it comes down to. It's not that one job is harder than another. It's just you have access to more problems, and that's what we're going to talk about. With this is using a lens to see things in a bigger context, and bigger being a broader context, but not a more important context. Dale and I will be the first to say classroom teachers are the people who are going to help us sink or swim. So, all right. That's a good one.
I can, if Steve doesn't have in his shell under discussion board, I can create a thread for everybody to post their information so you can get in touch with one another. I'll do that here just in a few minutes. That'll be helpful, I think. And so I'll put that on discussion board in the 601 shell. Just upload your contact information. I'll do that. Make it easy.
And I think mine and Dale's numbers are on there.
Yeah, it's
And-
on the
and,
syllabus, and you can call.
Yeah, we enjoy talking to you. A couple
Oh,
of
yeah.
you have called already, so we enjoy phone calls.
You can call. But it's a
Hey,
serious
Mary.
business.
I think Mary already has most everybody. I believe she put in the chat, Rebecca, Heather, and Elizabeth. She needs y'all's cell numbers, and as soon as she gets those, she'll just add them all because she's wonderful like that.
Okay. So it is a serious business. You know, the whole time we have class, Steve's going to try to entice you what a wonderful job it is, and I'm going to try to scare you in not doing it. And so we want to have fun, but it's a serious business. It's about not losing your house. It's a tough gig. So I'll be talking from a perspective of law and finance all the time, that do this, don't do that. If you do this, you know, there's tort liability. You can be sued personally. So it's pretty heavy material, but we try to lighten it up so that it doesn't, you know, when we get through, everybody's like, boy, I'd never do that. We want you to do this. We want you to go into it, but we want you to go in with eyes wide open. So don't let the tomfoolery fool you. It's a serious business, and it's a worthwhile business. And we need excellent administrators who have at their core expertise in instruction, because that's something 40 years ago when we started, you just didn't have. You know, we started because we were coaches. That's who got to be administrators back in the day. White male coaches got to be administrators. You know, I couldn't have spelled instruction if you just spotted me a couple of 3 of the letters. We had to learn on the job, but what we did learn is a great respect for you folks who are instructional experts. And we hope to give a little leadership on Steve's side and a little bit of law and operations on my side. And you can take that expert instructional knowledge and you can change the world. You can change the lives of people. That's the notion. And that's why we love this so much, is working with smart people.
I do have one other question. What are what's the week for the assignments? Like last semester, we got new assignments on Wednesday and they were due Tuesday.
Okay, so the due dates for the APSL pieces are on the schedule of activities that you will see in Blackboard. There's a weekly schedule link on Blackboard, and you click it, and this weekly schedule will come up, and it's got the due dates for the APSL. I'm not averse to doing discussion board, but I don't do the discussion board like Dale does. I'm more into just verbal discussion, so you don't have discussion board activities with mine like you do with his. So he can respond to that of his, but the only things that you will be turning in with mine are the APSL tasks. The other preparatory pieces are your presentations of the chapters and leading the discussion.
Okay, so looking at the weekly schedule, I've introduced the APSL tonight, and so when we meet at the Charlotte campus on September 4th, the notion is that you would start task 1 and you would try to have it by the end of that week. We work Sunday to Sunday, so that would be sometime on or about, before this one. See right here, it says it's due in Blackboard by September 10th. That's what I was talking about. We do Sunday to Sunday. So you start on Saturday the 4th, Sunday the 5th, and it's due then by task 1 by September 10th, task 2 September. You can see the due dates on those. So he's got those right here on the list for you. And then mine, and I've got my due dates right here are at the end of that week. See, I do mine October 8th through 24th. By the end of the week, by that Sunday, it's due by 9 o'clock. And if it's, and again, it's not imperative, but I've got all my due dates as well. They're at the end of the week. And then your activities I've got, they're due. We're going to talk about those activities that week. And so you can see, we'll talk about them and you go do them. So October 26th, we're going to talk about discussion board activity 1, and you'll post what you learned by going out and gathering these things up by the end of that week. And that's kind of the way we do that. And if you've already done it, then you can add to the discussion of it. That's how we start every class with me is, all right, this was the activity for this week. This is what I expect you to do. Anybody already done it? Well, what'd you find out? And so that's the way that works. And these go along with the chapters in the book. They kind of bring the chapters to life. They add a little, see, instead of me sitting and reading the chapters to you in class or online, I had to go out and do the activities. It's the same stuff. It's just experiential. It again, it expands on the notion of our theme is experiential learning, rather than me reading the chapter and us going over it page by page, read a chapter, write a little paper. Go out and do that. Do those things. Gather that information together, and don't write War and Peace in discussion board. Brief. I talked to the assistant principal. He says his biggest concern is the amount of time it takes to do due process. That's pretty easy. And then I'll have standard responses about what the takeaways are from each of these activities. I've already, what you should have learned from doing those. The field trip scenario, things to learn, call 911 and don't talk to the media. Pretty simple. Go out and, what's the hiring process in your district? How do we advertise for jobs? Who interviews, those kinds of things. Be brief. But we want to get you out there. We want to get you seen and visible. We want people to look at you as a potential administrator. We want you to start making connections in your school and your school district, where people view you more than just a CNI, a curriculum instruction specialist. They can project you as a leader, as an administrator. And the way you do that is put yourself out there. That's the notion here. Why we have you do these activities. And so we'll quickly look at those again. Again, this shell is already, you've already got it. We have them posted both at the same time. And again, looking at these, I mean, you don't have to write a lot. It's the doing part. See, I have in mind where you can enter your information for the case studies, but and so locate copies of your school emergency crisis plan. How long did it take you and your administrator to find it? Used to be, it took months. Unfortunately, in the modern era, with all the things that go on in schools, they have them now. They're right there where they're supposed to be, under the counter. They have them digital, have them on their phone, have hard copies. They didn't used to be that way. According to what you read in this chapter, is their plan appropriate? Locate a copy of the school budget. Does it contain federal, state, local, and school funds? What, if anything, is missing? And yes, school budget is a public document by law. 115C 288 G says that you will make available the school budget to all parents and interested parties, and that would be you, interested party. It's got all the funds on it. What's missing? List the 5 most important steps in the school-based budgeting process. Talk to your principal what they think is important. There's no wrong answer there. Conduct a facilities walkthrough using the assessment inventory. How well did your school do? Those are the kinds of things we want you doing, because people now begin to see you in a different role. Interview an administrator concerning human resources practices. This should include position open, job announcement, obtaining candidates, interviewing, hiring. Also inquire about services such as employee assistance, compensation plans, benefits. Finally, determine how position opening, all those things are, how that's conducted in your district. Interview the chair of your school intervention team. Where are you with MTSS? You know, COVID delayed the full implementation of it. Where are you? What is it and where are you? Attend an IEP meeting. I know y'all do that all the time. Main thing to know about that is doesn't matter who did all that paperwork. People kind of get married to that. It's still a collaborative decision, regardless of who did the paperwork. Policy on cyberbullying. Cyberbullying has got big. All the social media. That's a hot topic we're going to have on this one. Interview AP school disciplinarian. What's their biggest concern about processing disciplinary incidents? They're all going to tell you it takes too much time. You know, and they worry about getting it right. What system of discipline do you use in your school? What is your code of conduct based on? PBIS, are you using that? Assertive discipline, what kind of disciplinary practices are you doing in your school? And then look at your school or district field trip policy. You're a sponsor of a local trip, you get rear-ended in the bus, what do? You call 911 and don't talk to the media. Pretty simple. And so these are things that get you out of your normal routine. That's the whole notion. And get people to start viewing you differently. That's the first step in getting you a job and changing, you know, your trajectory. If you want to get into school administration, people have to be able to project you as that. And these are some activities that will be able to help you and assist you in that. And so, but again, I don't want war and peace on those. Be brief in your answers. It's spend the time out there with these people, getting and asking questions and seeing what's going on. This is a crash course in school administration, and we need to accelerate. Writing all of, you know, for hours is not going to help. I'd rather you spend those hours out there learning in the building. Again, it's experiential learning. I think it adds value to what you get. Golly gee, I've got to go.
Other questions?
I've got to jump on the next Zoom. I'll see y'all all next Saturday. We'll have biscuits, and if you have a biscuit preference, we go to Bojangles, just email me your biscuit preference. We'll have a few pastries, water. You have anything special? Now, I'm not bringing fruit. So if you want fruit, you'll have to bring that yourself. I'll see y'all in a week and a half. Have a good evening.
All right, everybody, we're gonna wrap it up. So again, you have our cell numbers. Certainly we respond to email too. Dale and I, you know, we try to keep up, but if you want to discuss something on the phone, you know, you may want to text us and say, you know, this is Mary, will you call me back or whatever? And that, or whatever, how you want to do it. We're no different than the rest of you. You know, you get all these warranty calls that want us to upgrade our warranty.